First contact and battle. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Alliance was silent as High Chancellor Xerax stood to address the gathered representatives. His four arms raised in the traditional gesture of attention, his metallic blue scales catching the light of the hovering illumination orbs. The chamber itself was a marvel of engineering, a massive dome carved from the heart of an asteroid, with seats for 300 species arranged in concentric circles around the central platform. Esteemed members of the Alliance, Xerax began, his voice amplified by the chamber's acoustics. Our exploration fleet has discovered something unexpected in the outer rim of the Orion Arm. A planet, previously thought to be uninhabited, shows signs of advanced technological development. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. The exploration and cataloging of new worlds was routine, but finding advanced civilizations was increasingly rare. Most spacefaring species had joined the Alliance centuries ago. Ambassador Thula of the Ventari Confederation, a being of pure energy contained within an environmental suit, pulsed brightly. What level of advancement are we discussing, Chancellor? Xerax gestured to the holographic display that materialized at the center of the chamber. It showed a blue-green planet, teeming with sprawling cities and orbital structures. They call themselves humans, and their world is Earth. Our initial scans indicate they have achieved nuclear fission, basic space travel within their own system, and rudimentary quantum communications. However, they appear to be entirely isolated. No contact with other civilizations, no membership in any known coalition. Admiral Cragg, the military representative of the Dorn Imperium, leaned forward. His species resembled massive, armored arthropods, and his mandibles clicked in a pattern that denoted concern. An isolated technological species. That's unusual. Have they detected our presence? No, replied Xerax. Our ships maintain standard stealth protocols. They remain unaware of our observation. Ambassador Nilith of the Farron Republic, a slender humanoid with iridescent skin, stood. Chancellor, what do we know of their culture, their disposition? Are they peaceful? Xerax's upper arms made a gesture of uncertainty. Our data is incomplete. However, their historical records indicate frequent internal conflicts. They appear to have developed significant military capabilities relative to their technological level. Admiral Cragg's mandibles clicked more rapidly. That is concerning. Warlike tendencies combined with isolation can make first contact problematic, which is precisely why I have brought this matter before the Council, Xerax replied. Standard protocol would dictate sending a diplomatic mission, but given the potential risks, I believe we should proceed with caution. The chamber erupted in debate. Some argued for immediate diplomatic outreach, others for continued observation, and a few, primarily from militaristic species, suggested containment until more was known about these humans. After hours of discussion, a decision was reached. The Alliance would send a small fleet, led by the diplomatic vessel Harmony of Worlds, with military escort from the Dorn Imperium's renowned battlecruiser Invincible Claw. Their mission: establish first contact with humanity and assess their suitability for Alliance membership. What no one in the chamber realized was that humanity had already detected them weeks earlier. Earth's deep space monitoring stations had picked up anomalous readings consistent with artificial structures moving at speeds that defied conventional physics. While the public remained unaware, Earth's Unified Defense Command had quietly begun preparing for the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Captain Elena Zhou stood on the bridge of the EDS Vigilant, Earth's most advanced warship, hidden in the shadow of Saturn's rings. At 42, Zhao had earned her command through a combination of tactical brilliance and unshakable calm under pressure. Now she faced the greatest test of her career. Any change in the alien fleet's trajectory, Lieutenant Park? She asked, her voice steady despite the tension coiling in her stomach. No change, Captain, replied Park, eyes fixed on his display. They're maintaining course toward Earth. ETA 6 hours at current velocity. Zhao nodded, studying the tactical display. The alien fleet consisted of 7 vessels. One massive ship at the center, 4 smaller escorts in formation around it, and 2 larger vessels that sensor analysis suggested were military in nature. Communications, any response to our hails? Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez shook her head. Nothing, Captain. We've tried all frequencies and formats in the first contact protocol. Either they can't understand us, or they're choosing not to respond. Zhao frowned. United Earth Defense had been monitoring the alien vessels for weeks. When they changed course toward Earth 3 days ago, the decision was made to intercept and attempt communication before they reached the homeworld. So far, the aliens had ignored all attempts at contact. Tactical assessment, Commander Chen. The tactical officer studied his readings. The 2 larger vessels show energy signatures consistent with weapon systems, Captain. Their configuration suggests they serve a military function. The central vessel appears to be their command ship, significantly larger, but less heavily armed. Zhao considered the information. So we're looking at a diplomatic mission with military escort. That would be my assessment, yes. Earth's leadership had authorized Zhao to use her judgment. If the aliens appeared hostile, she was to engage and delay them while Earth prepared its defenses. If they appeared peaceful, she was to escort them to a designated meeting point in high Earth orbit. Captain, Park called out suddenly. The alien fleet is accelerating. New ETA to Earth, 3 hours. Zhao straightened. Time to make a decision. Set intercept course. Bring us out of Saturn's shadow, full visibility. Let's see how they react to our presence. The Vigilant fired its engines, emerging from concealment. At just under 500 meters long, the ship represented the pinnacle of human military technology, a fusion-powered vessel equipped with railguns, missile systems, and experimental directed energy weapons. Its hull was composed of layered metamaterials that could adapt to different types of weapons fire, and its sensor suite was the most advanced ever deployed. They've detected us, reported Park. The 2 military vessels are breaking formation, moving to intercept. Open a channel, all frequencies, ordered Zhao. Transmit first contact package Alpha. Rodriguez worked her console. Transmitting now. For tense minutes they waited. Then, unexpectedly, a response came through, not as communication, but as action. One of the alien military vessels fired what appeared to be an energy weapon. The beam struck several kilometers from the Vigilant, clearly a warning shot. They're demanding we stand down, Rodriguez interpreted, analyzing the pattern of the shot. Traditional show of force. Zhao's expression hardened. Power defensive systems. Hold position. Continue transmitting the contact package. The alien vessels continued their approach, weapons visibly charged. Then, without warning, the larger of the 2 military ships fired directly at the Vigilant. Evasive action. Zhao commanded as the bridge klaxon sounded. The human ship pivoted with surprising agility, the shot grazing its adaptive hull. Damage was minimal, but the intent was clear. Captain, they're targeting our propulsion systems, Chen reported. This isn't a warning. They're trying to disable us. Zhao's decision came instantly. Tactical. Target the lead military vessel's weapon systems only. Precision strike. Railguns 1 through 4. The Vigilant's main railguns charged and fired in quick succession, launching hypervelocity projectiles at a significant fraction of light speed. The alien vessel's shields flared brilliantly as they absorbed the first 2 shots, but the third and fourth penetrated, striking the ship's main weapon emplacements with surgical precision. What happened next shocked everyone on the Vigilance bridge. Rather than withdrawing or returning fire with secondary weapons, the alien vessel seemed to panic. It fired wildly, not just at the Vigilant, but also in the direction of its own fleet. One shot struck the diplomatic vessel, causing visible damage. "What are they doing?" muttered Rodriguez. "That's their own ship they hit." The second military vessel moved to engage, firing multiple energy weapons at the Vigilant. This time, the human ship's adaptive hull absorbed most of the impact, redistributing the energy. "Return fire," ordered Zhao. "Target weapons and propulsion only." The battle that followed was brief but intense. To the aliens' evident surprise, the human warship demonstrated capabilities far beyond what they had apparently expected. The Vigilant's adaptive hull proved highly resistant to their energy weapons, while its railguns and precision missile strikes systematically disabled the alien vessel's offensive capabilities. Within 20 minutes, both alien military ships were drifting, their weapons and engines disabled. The remaining diplomatic vessel and its escorts had retreated to a safe distance. "Captain," reported Rodriguez, "we're receiving a transmission from the main diplomatic vessel. They're surrendering." A stunned silence fell over the bridge. "They're surrendering," Zhao repeated, disbelief evident in her voice. "To one ship?" "Yes, Captain. They're requesting cessation of hostilities and offering to withdraw from the system immediately." Zhao exchanged glances with her officers. This was not the outcome anyone had expected. "Inform them that we accept their surrender," she said finally. "But we will not permit their withdrawal until we've established proper diplomatic communication. Earth has questions that need answering." As the Vigilant moved to secure the disabled alien vessels, none of the humans realized the profound impact this encounter would have on galactic politics. In the space of less than an hour, humanity had accomplished what no other species had done in millennia. They had defeated ships of the supposedly invincible Dorn Imperium in direct combat. The galaxy would never be the same. Aftermath and new galactic order. High Chancellor Zirac stared in disbelief at the reports flooding in from the First Contact mission. The Invincible Claw, flagship of the Dorn Imperium's elite fleet, disabled by a single vessel from a previously unknown species. The diplomatic ship Harmony of Worlds damaged not by the humans, but by friendly fire in the chaos of battle. The mission completely compromised. "This is unprecedented," whispered Ambassador Nylith, her iridescent skin paling to a dull gray in distress. Admiral Craig's mandibles were completely still, a sign of extreme shock among his kind. "Impossible," he finally managed. "The Invincible Claw has never been defeated in combat." "Never." Zirax gestured with all four arms, commanding the holographic display to show the human vessel. "Yet here we are. This ship, the EDS Vigilant, disabled two of our most advanced warships while sustaining minimal damage." "But how?" demanded Craig. Earth was classified as a Type 2 civilization at best. Their technology shouldn't be capable of this. Ambassador Thula pulsed thoughtfully. "Perhaps our assessment was flawed. Or perhaps humans have developed along different technological paths than we anticipated." Zirax nodded slowly. "The preliminary analysis suggests their adaptive hull material is unlike anything in our database, and their weapons, simple in concept but devastating in execution. They use magnetically accelerated projectiles rather than energy weapons. Railguns," Craig supplied, "and Arctic technology. We abandoned them centuries ago in favor of more advanced systems. Yet their implementation proved highly effective against our shields," Nylith pointed out. "Perhaps there is wisdom in their approach." The chamber doors parted, and a messenger hurried in, bowing to Zirax. "Chancellor, we've received a direct communication from Earth. Their leadership wishes to establish diplomatic relations immediately." Zirax exchanged glances with the others. "It seems we have little choice. Prepare for an emergency session of the full council. The galaxy must know what we're facing." On Earth, the reaction to First Contact had been one of cautious optimism mixed with alarm. The victory of the Vigilant had been classified at the highest levels, but rumors spread quickly. Humanity now knew they were not alone in the universe, and that they could hold their own against whatever threats might exist among the stars. In a secured conference room beneath Geneva, Captain Zhou briefed the United Earth Defense Council on her encounter with the alien fleet. "Their technology is advanced, but not incomprehensibly so," she explained, standing before the assembled military and civilian leaders. "Their energy weapons are powerful but predictable. Their shields are designed to disperse energy gradually, which makes them vulnerable to our kinetic weapons. General Abesi, chair of the Defense Council, leaned forward. And their tactical capabilities. Zhao hesitated. Honestly, underwhelming. They seemed shocked by our resistance. Their formations were textbook, with little adaptation when their initial approach failed. It's as if they haven't faced a real threat in centuries. Dr. Lakshmi Patel, the Council's chief xenobiologist, spoke up. That aligns with what we've learned from the captured ships. This galactic alliance has been stable for over 2,000 years. Most conflicts are resolved diplomatically. Their military exists primarily as a ceremonial force and for handling minor threats like pirates or rogue factions. So they're soft, grunted Admiral Chen. Not exactly, corrected Dr. Patel. Their technology is genuinely advanced in many areas, particularly in propulsion, communications, and medicine. But they've had little incentive to develop military technology or tactics beyond a certain point. There's been no arms race, no mutually assured destruction to drive innovation. Secretary General Martinez, the civilian head of the council, tapped her stylus thoughtfully. What are our options, then? Do we join this alliance on their terms, demand concessions, or maintain isolation? The room fell silent as everyone considered the implications. I think, Zhao said carefully, that we're in a unique position. We've demonstrated that we can defend ourselves. That gives us leverage, but we should use it wisely. 2 months later, the Great Hall of the Galactic Alliance hosted an unprecedented ceremony. For the first time in over 500 years, a new species was being formally admitted to full alliance membership, and under extraordinary circumstances. Ambassador Michael Chen of Earth stood before the assembled representatives of 300 alien civilizations. Tall and dignified in his formal diplomatic attire, he embodied the calm confidence that had come to characterize humanity's approach to galactic politics. Esteemed members of the Alliance, he began, his voice translated simultaneously into hundreds of languages. I stand before you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a symbol of what our union can become. Our first contact was less than ideal. A ripple of nervous laughter passed through the chamber. But from that misunderstanding has grown a new understanding, one that I believe will strengthen us all. High Chancellor Xerax rose to stand beside Chen. The admission of Earth to the Alliance represents more than the addition of another species to our collective. It represents an opportunity for renewal and growth. Humans bring with them perspectives and approaches that many of us had forgotten or never considered. In the 2 months since first contact, humanity had negotiated an unprecedented agreement. Earth would join the Alliance as a full member, with all rights and privileges. But in exchange, the Alliance had agreed to significant reforms, particularly in security and defense protocols. Human military advisors were already working with the Dorn Imperium to modernize their forces. Earth scientists were collaborating with Alliance researchers on numerous projects, combining their different approaches to technology. And human diplomats had proven remarkably adept at navigating the complex politics of the galactic community. We do not come as conquerors, Chen continued, despite what some feared after our initial encounter. We come as partners. Yes, we have developed certain technologies and strategies that proved effective in combat, but we have also learned that there is far more to civilization than the ability to fight. He gestured to the chamber around them. This alliance represents millennia of peaceful cooperation, scientific advancement, and cultural exchange. These are values humans share. We have much to learn from you, and perhaps some things to teach as well. Admiral Cragg, who had initially been among the most vocal critics of human admission to the Alliance, clicked his mandibles in the pattern indicating respect. The Dorn Imperium formally endorses Earth's membership, he announced. Their tactical insights have already proven invaluable in our security reforms. One by one, representatives from major Alliance powers rose to voice their support. The Ventari Confederation praised human creativity. The Farron Republic commended their adaptability. Even the notoriously isolationist X Collective acknowledged the benefits of human perspectives on technological development. As the formal vote was tallied, unanimously in favor of Earth's admission, Ambassador Chen exchanged a knowing glance with Captain Zhao, who stood discreetly among the Earth delegation. Their strategy had worked perfectly. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, not as supplicants begging for acceptance, nor as conquerors demanding submission, but as equals offering partnership. Earth's military capabilities had earned them respect, but it was their diplomatic skill that had truly won the day. In the reception that followed the ceremony, Chancellor Zirax approached Chen and Zhao privately. "I must confess," he said, voice lowered, "when I first received the reports of the Vigilance victory, I feared we might be facing a new galactic power, one that could potentially destabilize millennia of peace." Zhao smiled. "And now?" Zirax made a gesture of thoughtful consideration with his upper arms. "Now I believe we may have needed precisely the shake-up humans have provided." The alliance had grown. Complacent, stagnant, perhaps. Your different approach to problems, your innovative thinking, these are valuable contributions. Just as your stability and diplomatic traditions are valuable to us, Chen replied. Earth's history has been marked by conflict. We've learned much from it, but we also recognize the benefits of the peace you've maintained. As they spoke, representatives from dozens of species mingled around them, many seeking out human delegates with evident curiosity. The initial fear of humanity had been replaced by fascination and opportunity. In orbit above the Alliance homeworld, the EDS Vigilant maintained its position alongside ships from 20 other species. Once seen as a threat, it was now recognized as a symbol of the new era dawning for the galaxy. An era in which humanity's unique perspective would help guide the Alliance toward a future that combined the best of both worlds. The peace and cooperation that had defined galactic civilization for millennia, and the innovation and adaptability that had allowed humans to survive and thrive in isolation. The universe would indeed never be the same, but perhaps all agreed it would be better.